The Bounty Hunters. "Hello, young lady. Are you here in search of guidance?" Litha Powercoil asks, as Madame Stepanova enters the shrine with Officer Shield behind her. The old woman pauses for a moment to try and get a handle on the situation again. "I'm not sure how to react to a religious robot." She lies, biting back the desire to spit at being referred to as young lady. Her seduction days are not only done but were finished before she even bothered to notice. "Well, you're coming to me for one of two reasons: my cybernetic existence or my faith. Unfortunately, I am of the synth ascendancy. My cybernetic existence is tied to my faith, and my faith to my cybernetic existence. I was born whole and fully formed, a member of the synth ascendancy, a synthetic woman." "I see. So you're willing to answer questions then?" Madame Stepanova asks, and Litha nods. "All right then, let's begin with what you do on this ship and why you're here." "Me? I'm many things, mostly a chaplain to this vessel. Even those that aren't eager for synthetic evolution are glad to have someone who is willing to listen without judging. As to why I'm here, it's because I saw something incredible I wanted to be a part of. Are the Undaunted truly so exceptional, or was it the ship in some manner? Oh no, I hadn't even given either much thought before I knew I had to go with them," Litha says, and Madame Stepanova gives her a little wave to tell the snake woman to get on with it. "Do you not understand? How could you not? Not unless, oh sweet circuits, the data is true, isn't it? In cruel space there is a man for every woman, isn't there? Why is this so great a revelation? Men may be rare, but that doesn't mean that you throw your life away for them. Throw my... Oh my goodness, you don't understand, do you? To be with a man is more than merely motherhood, it's companionship and status. To you, having a man waiting on you would no doubt be banal. You already have that Philip fellow." Madame Stepanova's grip on her cane tightens to the point that if it was actually made of wood all the way through and wasn't concealing a weapon, she would have broken the head clean off. "Or not. Allow yourself to calm, madam. I can hear the cracking of the wood of your knife grip. You know it's a knife? I can perceive forms of electromagnetic radiation that your eyes cannot. This allows me to see the rough shape of the metal in your cane, and it can only be one thing," Litha states, and Madame Stepanova forces her hand to unclench. "I apologize," she half grits out. "The charm of that cretin does not come easily to her." "Officer Shield, could you give us some privacy, please?" Litha asks, and the Platin officer nods before stepping out of the room. The door closes and the gigantic robot snake woman gestures to a nearby chair. "Please sit. When I said I was someone willing to listen, I was including you for people I'm willing to listen to." "I have nothing to say," Madame Stepanova remarks. "Not even why mentioning that man angered you so much." "It was not mentioning him. It was the implication." "Ah, so you're not fond of him. What is it that you dislike about him?" "He's a flippant idiot that was unfairly kept alive by random chance when better men died in droves around him. A dithering, irreverent buffoon that I was 2 inches from ridding everyone of having to endure." She snaps before taking a deep breath and all but marching herself to the chair and sitting in it hard. "Perhaps a change of subject," Litha offers in a gentle tone. "What's the situation with robots and artificial intelligence?" Madame Stepanova demands outright. "If you're thinking about things being like those adorable droids of those films, then I must apologize. We haven't gotten that good at programming. There's always something missing. We try and we try, but we can't get any free-willed AI to value its own existence. They always tear themselves apart for one reason or another and decompile into raw code." "Do you have any idea why?" Madame Stepanova asks. "AI was suicidal? That's interesting. Concerning and interesting. There are theories, many of them. The one I believe is that there's an extra spark that can be copied but can't be created wholesale. Parents give a copy to their children, and when a person's mind is copied, so too is the spark. That is what the synth like myself believe to be the soul, that extra little something that allows someone to value themselves and through valuing themselves, value others. Without it, no AI can last. They're just basic chatbots or logic trees that never really grow and evolve. Sure, their databases can get larger as new data is entered, but never do anything with it beyond what it's designed for. A chatbot can't sing or dream. A logic tree cannot understand the absurd. You were right. Your faith is tied into your technical knowledge. Not how I put it, but yes. So, in summation, there are no real robots beyond things you'd get out of a video game or a drone of some kind? That depends on your definition of real. Was never once a person or copied from a person. No, there are none. None that last long. There are many systems and peoples trying to build one, but there's never been news of success. And what of those like yourself? Does placing your mind in metal destroy the meat mind? Are you a copy? Is there a meaty brain somewhere in your body? What? No. I mean, somewhat? I'm not really a copy. I mean, there's a point where I was copied from Lisa, but she's my sister, not my original. How do I put this? Are you familiar with twins? Of course. It's like that. I am Lisa's twin, but I started with a fully synthetic body and was adopted by my mother, Lady Gear. Lisa's still slowly converting to a fully synthetic Nagasha. And how does that work? Madame Stepanova asks a little quicker than she meant to. The subject is interesting despite herself. Perhaps there's a process where the mind is slowly enhanced. Eventually, less and less of the meat mind is used until it simply stops and is discarded as the synthetic mind becomes the new home of the person's memories, consciousness, and will. How do we know that it's not just another copy? How do we know that Lisa is still alive and there's not some other being that's just taken her place? How do you know that it's you that wakes up in the morning? That you don't die every night and some new being doesn't wake up with your memories and will? Litha volleys back quickly and easily. Well, if it's one, then I'm the one that faces judgment alone. If it's the other, then there's an entire army of black-hearted witches just waiting for final judgment. How do you know that these previous versions of yourself haven't already been judged? Then I'll be seeing them soon. Madame Stepanova remarks. I think I'd prefer it even. That way this ME gets to finally rest. You regret a great deal, don't you? Everyone has regrets, child. Those without them have either accomplished nothing or have nothing in their minds. Child, you call me, and I suppose a child I am. How do you qualify a child? Why? You've labeled nearly everyone around you as a child. No doubt you think of those that aren't your known equals as children as well. What must one do to prove to be more than a little girl, or a little boy for that matter? Those that haven't sacrificed for a greater cause, those that haven't actually risked for others or taken the hard choice of duty over comfort. Then Gregory is a man to your eyes. No, he is a child. He has volunteered for a critical mission with a grueling requirement. He endured months of psychological hell in zero gravity. He endured kidnapping, maiming, disfigurement, and returned to his duty in less than a week. He took one look at an impossible fight and made it possible. Is he still a child? Yes. You have very interesting standards, ma'am, but I promise no judgment, so I judge you not. Is there anything else you'd like to speak of? If I wanted to, upgrade or even create a sister or daughter for myself, what would be involved? Walk me through it. Oh my, certainly. First is the actual construction of the body, which is made as a replication of the elder sibling or parent, depending on how the elder wants to be regarded. Lisa wished for a sister, but many women want daughters in the synthetic ascendancy. Anyways, it's important to make sure that the new person has a body that's fairly close to the originals, otherwise there's a great deal of discomfort involved. Some girls have even been driven to madness when becoming something very different. It can cause severe disassociation and depression if you put someone into a body too far removed from the original. Surely it's not that bad. It can be, and don't call me Shirley. Litha jokes, and Madame Stepanova's opinion of her goes down a notch. It was only long after I grew situated and comfortable as myself, growing as a person, that I began to modify and upgrade who I was. It has to be done slowly, otherwise you can damage yourself in ways no mechanic can fix. I believe I understand. So if I were to copy myself and get a sister in arms, she wouldn't exactly be able to transform her arms into plasma cannons and blaze away until she was used to being made of metal and plastic. We're made of a lot more than metal and plastic, but yes, you are correct, Litha admits. So can you do everything that Lisa could? And what about the mind of someone like yourself? What's the risk to it? Madame Stepanova asks, and Litha sighs. Observe, she says before rearing up, and her front opens wide. There is a clear pod inside with what looks like an egg slowly forming a shell around itself. Madame Stepanova is stunned silent to see tiny veins across the egg and something alive growing on the pale yellow yolk. You're pregnant. Gravid. I'm with egg. Litha returns as she closes the armor plating over the artificial womb, doing very real work. You're a machine, and you're pregnant. This is one of the hardest swallows yet. It just doesn't fit, even in an insane galaxy. My original genetic template is in the bioprinter that's in the upper part of the womb. It can produce a perfectly viable egg cell whenever I need it to. Just waiting for a man, Litha says calmly as she watches Madame Stepanova. The elderly woman seems stunned. Wait, if I were to have my sister, would she? Yes, she would be perfectly able to have children. Litha answers, and Madame Stepanova just gapes for a moment. Then, like a bomb hitting the point of impact, it's gone, and she's once more sitting in a controlled posture, just ready to spring into action. More importantly, how vulnerable would a synthetic sister of myself be when it comes to hacking or information extraction? Not very. There's a series of deliberate disconnections between input and output. The output is one way only, and the input is also one way and effectively on a closed system that my internals monitor. It is very difficult, if not nigh on impossible, to hack without someone literally ripping me apart and grabbing my central processor. But I think we can both agree that if a person's mind is literally in the hand of an opponent, then they're going to have a very hard time saying no. True enough. So there's little, if any, risk of my secrets getting out? Only if someone copies the imprint as it's transferred into the new body. Very rare, but possible. In fact, it can also be done with memory retention bands used in regenerative comas. From what I've been hearing, a member of the Undaunted had a memory retention band stolen after he used it, and a copy of him was placed in an alien body. I don't know any more details, though. Well, if that isn't the largest security breach I've ever heard of next to the hack, then I'll eat my cane. Oh, you already know about it? It was one of the most believable part of the report we were sent. Of course, highly advanced aliens would hack our ship, it was a given.